and his homies didn't care who they hit as long as they killed Jeremiah. They started letting off shots into the crowd, and at least 10 other people got hit. Maul and his homie killed Lee, but 2 innocent people named Taisha Watkins and Kershaw Jackson were tragically murdered as well.
Bro, y'all know how many people was murdered in this video? God damn. This shit wild. This New Orleans beef is crazy. God damn, these motherfuckers out, man. What the fuck? What the fuck? What it is, YouTube, man? Back with a little video today, you feel what I'm saying? And today we got a crazy video about Brody right here. They say he is the demon of New Orleans, you feel what I'm saying? We gonna see what this little video talk about before we start though. You already know what the business is, man. Like the video, share, subscribe to the channel, smash that bell. Let's dive straight to the video and see if bro really the demon of New Orleans. See if he thugging it out. Let's get it, man.
Jamal Smith was one of the deadliest shooters in New Orleans.
Oh shit.
And today we're breaking down the shocking and brutal story behind why he's serving a life sentence.
Damn.
Jamal Smith came up in the Calliope projects in New Orleans. Like a lot of projects, Calliope was built for working families who wanted a cheap place to rent while they saved up enough cash to buy their own crib. Back in the day, it was a nice area full of musicians, teachers, and other working class people. But in the 80s, everything changed. When crack cocaine came to New Orleans, it turned a lot of neighborhoods into war zones.
Oh goddamn.
Drug dealers in the Calliope project started fighting over territory, and bodies were dropping in the street. There were a few major guys trying to take everything, and the biggest dealer was a dude named Sam Scully Clay. Scully was moving serious weight in Calliope and had a lot of dudes working for him. But in '87, he got killed and the violence went to a whole new level. Nobody was running the hood anymore and everyone wanted to take over, and that's when Calliope really turned up. Between 1993 and 2004, over 80 people were murdered inside the Calliope projects. It became one of the most notorious hoods in the city, and after Hurricane Katrina came through in 2007 and destroyed some of the buildings, city officials made a plan to shut it down. Some new buildings were built in 2012 after Master P stepped in to help.
And more trenches.
Master P is a southern rap legend who started No Limit Records. He came up in the Calliope projects and wanted to give back to the community, so he linked up with the city to build 175 new units.
Damn.
Then the original Calliope projects were all demolished a couple years later in 2014. But taking down the old buildings didn't slow the violence down at all. Before Maul jumped off the porch and became one of the most active dudes in the city, Calliope had already been at war with a crew called the 39ers.
Oh hell
The 39ers were formed when dudes from a set called 3NG and another set called G-Strip linked up and started putting pressure on the ops. The 39ers were allegedly involved with dozens of murders, but the one that turned Maul into a shooter is when they killed his cousin, Omig. Omig was also affiliated with a crew called the Cut Boys, who was ties with Master P's brother, C Murder. Master P wanted to get out of the trenches and bring everyone with him, but C Murder wasn't on the same page. It's not clear how much work he was really putting into the trenches before he got into the rap game with Master P, but rumors say C Murder was a wild dude who loved being in the streets. In 2001, C Murder allegedly upped his strap and almost killed a nightclub owner for not letting him into a club with his gun.
Damn.
And in 2002, C Murder allegedly shot and killed a teenager named Steve Thomas outside of a different club. Steve Thomas was only 16 when he was killed and used a fake ID to get into the Platinum Club in Harvey.
Okay, I'm about to say, what the hell was a 16-year-old doing at the club? I was confused.
A city right outside of New Orleans. Steve Thomas was a huge fan of C Murder, snuck into the club to see him perform.
Wow,
there were around 300 people in the club when a huge fight broke out. A bouncer later testified that he saw 15 dudes beating Steven. Then the bouncer witnessed C Murder himself pull out a gun and fire a shot that took his life. C Murder was arrested a few hours later after causing a disturbance at the House of Blues. At the time, he was already out on bail after the situation with the nightclub owner and was quickly brought to jail. He's been locked up ever since. Most people think C Murder is innocent in the murder case though. 2 of the key witnesses said that the police threatened them if they wouldn't make a statement against C Murder. And during the trial, one of the jurors didn't want to convict him and said she was allegedly bullied by the rest of the jury so badly that she started throwing up.
What the
C
hell?
Murder was convicted and got hit with a life sentence.
Damn.
But the rest of the Cut Boys kept the pressure up in the streets. But by 2009, Maul's cousin Omig was allegedly one of the last dudes left in the crew. He was also a rapper, but the streets caught up to Omig before he could make it in the industry. On March 15, 2009, Omig was driving his Lexus down Magnolia Street when someone popped out of a sunroof in another whip and started letting off shots. Omig tried to escape, but it was obviously a planned hit because another shooter in a different car started hitting up Omig's whip too.
Oh
The
hell
ops dumped
no.
over 20 rounds into Omig's Lexus and he ended up crashing the whip. His homie got out of the car and ran off on foot after they wrecked. Omig's homie made it to the hospital and survived the bullet that hit him. but Omig was found dead in the Lexus when the cops pulled up to the scene.
I mean, shit, how the hell is you gonna survive? That's like kind of like, no, hell no, that ain't like the Julio situation, but it's kind of similar to it. Shooters on both sides of the car. Like, how the hell you supposed to survive that shit? God damn.
Reports, a dude from the 39ers named Contrell Hickerson, aka Black, was behind Omig's murder. He didn't go down for the case, but the cops hit him and 20 other alleged affiliates with a huge indictment back in 2013 and accused Black of being one of the major shot callers. During Black's case, his homies T-Bone and Big Wash both flipped and started working with the cops.
Damn,
T-Bone told him Black was involved with at least 2 different murders. And Big Wash said that Black started getting power in 3 and G back in 2002 after he allegedly killed a dude from the Calio projects named Alexis Slam Williams. Black ended up getting hit with a 100-year sentence. But Omig's cousin,
y'all ain't have to say all that. Like, y'all ain't have to snitch on him and tell him how he got up there, how he got the power, this and that. Like, damn, y'all ain't just snitched, y'all snitched. Goddamn.
Maul wanted to get it back in blood. After Omig was killed, his cousin Maul allegedly started sliding on the 39ers and killed a dude named AP. The 39ers didn't wait long to clap back though, and in 2010, they caught Maul and almost took him out. In 2010, Maul and his homie Lester were driving down the street when a minivan pulled up on them and someone started letting off shots. Lester caught a bullet in the head and tragically didn't make it out alive, but Maul got hit and was able to recover. 5 39ers were booked for the shooting, including one of the most notorious killers in New Orleans history, Gregory Rabbit Stewart. And to understand how lucky Maul was to make it out of the situation alive, we gotta break down just how violent Rabbit was. Rabbit had a wild come up in the streets and saw his first murder when he was just 4 years old. Then when he was in 6th grade, one of his homies got shot and died right in front of him. He hopped off the porch early and some OGs in the neighborhood taught him how to go on hits. Rabbit joined the 39ers and caught his first body when he was just 16 years old and killed a dude named Calvin Brumfield. Calvin Brumfield was the first person Rabbit killed, but a couple of years later, he went on a crazy killing spree that shook up the whole city. In February 2010, Rabbit murdered a dude named Kendall Faveberg, who was allegedly affiliated with the crew called the Press Park Gang. Press Park had shot and paralyzed Rabbit's homie Percy, so Rabbit slid on Kendall Faveberg and killed him as get back. Then just a couple months later, Rabbit murdered Quelton Broussard. Quelton and his homies had beef with the 39ers and killed Terrence Butler right in front of an OG 39er named Merle Lofray and another affiliate named Daryl Franklin. The 3 of them were at Butler's mom's house when Quelton Broussard and his homies rode through and started letting off shots. After they killed Butler, Quelton Broussard and the other shooters drove off, and that's when Rabbit, Daryl Franklin, and Merle Lofray loaded up their guns and hopped in their own whip. They chased Quelton down and lit up his car almost 50 times. Then 1 month after he killed Quelton Broussard, Rabbit and his homie Pound murdered a dude named Rayshawn Jones.
God damn!
Rayshawn Jones allegedly repped a crew.
Y'all just walking around, just murdering everybody. Y'all tweaking. What the hell?
39ers called Ride or Die, and that's why Rabbit took him out. Rabbit had already been involved with 3 murders that year, but he wasn't finished yet. Just 8 days after Rayshawn Jones was killed, Rabbit and his homies killed Lester Green and almost got mauled too. Rabbit ended up flipping on the 39ers and told the cops everything about the murders he was involved with. Rabbit said that he went to high school with Maul and the 39ers had beef with him because Maul allegedly killed AP. Rabbit and some homies had gone to the courthouse and Rabbit spotted Maul getting out of a car. He told his homie Nelly to hold Maul so he wouldn't leave. Then Rabbit left to get some guns and spin back around. Nelly chopped it up with Maul started up the courthouse while he waited for Rabbit and other dudes to get back. Rabbit knew that if Maul spotted him, he would have known something was up, so he stayed down in the van when they pulled back up to the courthouse. Nelly hopped back in, and then the whole crew waited down the street while Maul was in the courthouse. When Maul's ride showed up, they drove right past Rabbit and the rest of the 39ers. There were cops all around because the courthouse was right there, but Rabbit told the guys, "Man, fuck it, man, we about to just make history. We about to pull this off." They pulled up next to Maul and Lester's whip, and Rabbit's homies Rat and Red hopped out and tried to shoot. Their guns were on safety though, and weren't firing at first. There was a woman in the car with Maul and Lester, but she was able to run away while the 39ers were trying to get their guns to work. Unfortunately, Lester and Maul didn't have time to get out there though. The 39ers turned off the safeties and lit the car up, and Lester was killed by a shot to the head. Lester wasn't Maul's only homie the 39ers killed that year though. A few months later, Maul's homie Man was in a whip with a rapper named Magnolia Shorty when the 39ers caught them too. Magnolia Shorty was cool with a lot of street dudes, but wasn't actually in the beef. But that didn't stop the 39ers from killing him. Man was allegedly putting all kinds of pressure on the ops though. He was tied with a New Orleans rapper named Soulja Slim. Soulja Slim grew up in the Magnolia Projects, which also had a reputation for being one of the wildest hoods in New Orleans. Soldier Slim had a pretty wild come up and dropped out of high school in 11th grade to start selling heroin. Slim allegedly caught his first body in '95 in an area of New Orleans called Terra Lane. Slim had some homies who live in the East and used to buy weed after hitting the studio, but he was also beefing with some dudes who live in the 11th Ward, which was close by. One day when he was in Terra Lane, Slim spotted someone who was cool with the ops. He started getting paranoid and thought the dude might give up his location, so Soldier Slim decided to take him out before he got a chance. Slim even talked about the situation on the song My Jacket, where he raps, "He busted stacking from round me with all that junk claiming. In '95, I ran on Terra Lane and busted brain in, smoking blunts and snorting cane with my girl Big Reed, till I started spooking out, thought a nigga was trying to kill me. Niggas feel me." Soldier Slim came out moving weight in the streets, but started popping off in the rap game when he linked up with No Limit Records. Working with No Limit was a huge win for him, but Soldier Slim was still active in the streets and got arrested for armed robbery. Getting booked slowed him down, but then Soldier Slim came back to the rap game and really started popping off. He hit #1 on the charts when he linked up with his homie Juvenile, and nobody expected the tragic situation that was about to go down. Even though Soldier Slim was making waves in the industry, rumors said he was still neck deep in the trenches, and that's why he ended up getting killed.
Damn.
Soldier Slim was allegedly robbing drug dealers, and there's a rumor that he robbed and killed another rapper in the city who was connected to a major drug dealer. The dealer allegedly put 10K on Soldier Slim's head,
10K.
and not too long after that, somebody caught Soldier Slim outside of his mom's crib and brutally executed him.
Bro, 10K back then, bro. You know how much bread that was back then, bro? 10K back then was probably like 50, 100. You know what I'm saying? So like, bro, if you put 10K in somebody's head right now, they gonna do the job. They gonna handle the business. I know they was on, bro. Hell no.
Cops booked a dude named Jarrell Smith for the murder, but couldn't convict him because nobody would talk. Jarrell Smith was allegedly involved in at least 3 other murders other than Soldier Slim though. And in 2011, Jarrell Smith was found shot to death in the street.
Damn.
Jarrell Smith ain't the only dude who might have been involved with Soldier Slim's death though. And this next guy is allegedly the reason why Maul's homie Man ended up dead. A dude named Stephen Kennedy was allegedly on the hit when Soldier Slim was killed. After Hurricane Katrina came through and destroyed a lot of New Orleans in 2005, a bunch of people from the city ended up moving to Texas, and that's where Man allegedly clapped back for Soldier Slim's death by killing Stephen Kennedy. Man already had a target on his back for allegedly murdering Stephen Kennedy, but then he became one of the 39ers' biggest ops after they found out that Man wanted to kill Merle Frey. Merle Frey was the biggest shot caller in the crew, and he knew that Man wanted to kill him. So Merle sent Rabbit and 4 other goons to handle the situation.
Damn.
Man had just come home after being locked up. At the time, the 39ers ran a club called Sports View, and one night, Rabbit and his crew spotted Man there. The 39ers got their guns and went outside to wait for Man to come out. Rabbit and some of his homies sat in his whip outside, while some of the other 39ers stayed inside so they can keep an eye on Man until the rest of the crew what kind of car he was leaving in. Rabbit's homie AD saw Man leaving, but he told Rabbit and the other shooters the wrong car, and an innocent woman almost got killed. Luckily, Rabbit and his crew realized it before they let off shots though. Man survived that night, but it wasn't long before the 39ers caught up to him again.
Damn.
On December 20th, 2010, Rabbit's homie Rat called him up and said they knew where Man was. Rabbit was just chilling at home when he got the call, but then the crew jumped straight into action and slid on Man. Rabbit and his homies, Freaky, T-Red, and Rat all got their guns, and their homie T-Bone drove him to the Calio projects.
Man, this shit.
Man wasn't there, but Rabbit knew that Man was tied with Magnolia Shorty and that she lived in the Georgetown apartments.
And so they
the 39ers crew went straight to the apartments and saw Magnolia's whip pulling in, and they decided to wait outside by the apartment gates. There was a speed bump right there, and Rabbit knew Magnolia Shorty would have to slow down, which would give the shooters more time to get the job done.
What the
When Magnolia
hell?
Shorty and Man tried to leave the apartment complex, all 4 of the 39er shooters hopped out and started lighting their whip up. Magnolia Shorty got hit first and crashed the whip. Then the 39ers surrounded the car and kept shooting until Man and Magnolia Shorty were both dead.
Damn.
Man's death was a huge loss for Jamal. He already hated the 39ers, but Man getting killed like that turned him into even more of a savage and led to one of the most brutal shootings in New Orleans history. On July 28, 2018, Maul and one of his homies spotted an op from the 39ers named Jeremiah Lee outside a bar on South Claiborne Avenue. One of them was holding a rifle, and the other was strapped up with 2 pistols. They tried to take Jeremiah Lee out on sight, but he spotted Maul and the other dude and took off running. There was a big crowd of people standing outside the bar, and Jeremiah tried to hide behind them, but Maul and his homies didn't care who they hit as long as they killed Jeremiah. They started letting off shots into the crowd, and at least 10 other people got hit. Maul and his homie killed Lee, but 2 innocent people named Taisha Watkins and Kershaw Jackson were tragically murdered as well.
Bro, y'all know how many people was murdered in this video? God damn. This shit wild. This New Orleans beef is crazy. God damn, these motherfuckers. Oh, man, what the fuck? What the fuck? Y'all, if y'all made this part of the video, let me know how many people lost their life in this video. This shit crazy.
Watkins works at a hospital in Houston and was just in New Orleans to visit some friends. And Kershaw Jackson was the concrete fisher who was out to get drinks after work. After the shooting went down, Maul and his homies tried to destroy the evidence and burn a stolen whip they used as a getaway car. The cops knew that Jeremiah Lee was affiliated with 3NG and the 39ers, and they thought he was involved with killing an op named Kareem Dowell back in 2016. Kareem Dowell already survived one shooting but had his leg amputated. Then the ops caught him again and brutally murdered him while he was in a wheelchair. Jeremiah Lee was supposed to be in court the month after he died for allegedly shooting at his own brother in 2015. He was also facing 2 different drug cases. Back in 2010, the cops found him with crack cocaine. Then in 2011, he got booked again for selling more cracks to an undercover officer. Jeremiah Lee was supposed to go to court in 2013, but for some reason, he was found incompetent to go to trial. So the judge put him in a treatment program until he was ready for court. Someone had also tried to kill Jeremiah Lee a month before the Claiborne shooting. It's not clear who was involved with that shooting, but rumors say someone from the Calio projects was behind the trigger. The shooting at the bar left 2 innocent people dead, and what made the situation even worse is that Jamal Maul should have already been locked up. Back in 2013, he got booked for carrying a gun as a felon. Someone called the cops when they saw Maul with a strap on the 3400 block of Verado Street, and he tried to do the race when the cops pulled up to the scene. Maul and his homie Robert Stewart both ran off in different directions, and Maul tried to toss his pistol with an extended clip. Stewart almost got away, but then his pistol got stuck in the fence he was trying to get through, and the cops caught up to him.
Damn.
Jamal Maul already had drug and gun charges on his record, so the judge hit him with a 15-year sentence after he pleaded guilty in 2014. Maul got out early though and hopped right back in the trenches. At one point, Maul decided to jump in the booth and start rapping. He dropped a couple of tracks in 2019 under the name Ink Sicko, but Maul didn't get a buzz off the music, so he stayed in the streets instead. It took a couple of years before the cops made any arrests for the Claiborne shooting, but in 2021, they officially charged Maul with 3 counts of second-degree murder and 7 counts of attempted second-degree murder. The cops never got the second shooter from the Claiborne situation, but they think a dude named Robert Blizzo Levine was involved with the hit. Blizzo was allegedly involved with killing another op a couple of months after the shooting on Claiborne too. The cops booked him for murdering a dude named Dalton Money Train Stone in September 2018, but they never officially charged Blizzo for the deaths of Jeremiah Lee, Taisha Watkins, and Kershaw Jackson. Jamal Maul was already locked up on gun charges when he got hit with the murder case, and in 2023, he pleaded guilty to possession of marijuana, possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime, and possession of a firearm by a felon. Coming up in a place like the Calio projects doesn't give you a lot of options, and unfortunately, Jamal Maul got sucked into the trenches just like everyone around him. And after he started losing friends to the beef with the 39ers, Maul picked up a gun and tragically left 2 innocent people dead in the street, and now he's serving life in prison.
That shit is crazy, bro. Bro, there was so many people that passed away in this video. This shit is wild, bro. Motherfuckers out here crazy, bro, in New Orleans. I ain't even gonna lie. I wasn't expecting this video for you even had that much going on. But that motherfucker had that shit going on, what I'm saying, bro. Y'all, let me know how many people passed away in this video, like I said, bro. Let me know what y'all think about this, bro. I really don't know too much about New Orleans beef, but y'all motherfuckers crazy. Y'all, if y'all out there in the trenches, bro, New Orleans, stay safe, bro. I was gonna say that, stay safe, bro. You feel what I'm saying, man? Let me know what y'all feel about this video, though. Like the little video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Motherfuckers crazy. Get y'all bags up, stay about the way. Just handle y'all business, man. It's on with y'all, bro.